So I'm here with the soon-to-be famous Will Davis, and in a bit of role reversal, I'm going to interview him about this podcast we're starting. So let me start here. You wanted to be a game show host growing up. Does this satisfy that requirement?
Well, it starts to get there, Mike. I mean, if you think about some of the legends, the Sajaks, the Trebeks of the world, they've got those gigs pretty well locked down for a while. Drew Carey and then Steve Harvey, they've got a Family Feud pretty well taken care of. And so sometimes you got to start somewhere. With me, it's reaching that marketing audience, that business decision maker audience. We're going to talk about B2B technology marketing, and then ultimately maybe roll into a game show. It's kind of like the NBA D League or G League or whatever you want to call it. We're going to start somewhere, then work our way up.
Okay. So you're saying this does meet the requirement, but let me ask you this. There's a gazillion marketing podcasts out there. There's a gazillion general podcasts. There's a lot of bad ones. You and I both know this. So how are we going to make this one good?
Yeah, so you and I were talking about it and thinking, does the internet really need another podcast? Maybe not, if it can't be kind of unique. And so we started thinking about, that phrase white space. Like, what's the white space we're going to fill? In this case, what we want to do is talk to marketing decision makers, people that are really thinking about how do they evolve marketing, how do they get more out of their business. That could be CEOs, that could be VP marketing, director marketing, managers, other folks. But really, what are things they can hear, they can learn from, interviews with people. We're going to ask them some tough questions. We're going to really get kind of underneath the success, figure out what's working, figure out what they've learned from their failures. And then most importantly, we're going to hope it's entertaining. We're going to hope to have a little bit of fun. And so you can learn something. You can maybe get a little chuckle during your day and really kind of fill that space of educational and entertaining.
So you preempted my question. I was going to ask you who this thing's for. And it sounds like you're saying it's for really anyone that touches marketing, but even broader in a business sense, or is it more specific than that?
Yeah, I think where we're really going to go is thinking about the business implications of marketing, right? And that's what you and I live every day at RightSource with our clients, and just kind of generally out in the market. It's not just kind of what makes for prettier pictures, what makes for a bigger brand, but ultimately, how does the marketing that we're doing drive results? How do we plug that into driving results for the business versus really just focusing on marketing in a vacuum, marketing in and of itself?
Cool. So what types of people are you going to have on? Like, not naming names, but like, what types of people are going to come on that people should get excited about?
Well, spoiler alert, we've got this guy, Mike Sweeney. He's going to be a guest. We've actually got that episode already shot, so that's really exciting.
How did you lock him in?
It was tough. We had to work through his agent. His agent's a little bit finicky, but we managed to get that deal done. Really excited about it. Other folks we're going to bring in some people like software marketing VPs, people that are maybe managing or leading some of the marketing for some of the big software platforms out there, and talk about how marketing technology folks do marketing, what their metrics look like, how they really drive through to the ROIs that their leadership's expecting. On the flip side of that, I love talking to up-and-coming presidents, CEOs, business leaders who are thinking about marketing or kind of reconsidering how they do their marketing as they get from that initial startup stage to that next kind of how do they scale, how do they grow to that next level, and some of the challenges either they've already addressed or maybe that they're feeling right now.
Okay, so you had to have think about who your dream guest is for this show. Who is it?
It's funny, I hadn't put too much thought about it because we've been really just so focused on what is the space we're going to fill as a show. It feels a little cliched to say, like Mark Cuban or someone like that. But I'll go a little bit of a different direction. If I'm going with one of the sharks, I'm going with Robert. Experienced B2B technology guy, really gets the tech scene. To me, maybe a little bit more level-headed than some of the other sharks. Tends to be very pragmatic. Maybe less there to make a character for himself and more so to really look at what are those good investments. So I think picking his brain would be great.
Awesome. Looking forward to the podcast, and get ready for episode 1.